Hey, this is Jonathan Walsh from the Downtown Rescue Mission with another episode of Stories of Hope. Today, I'm here with Kristina, and she's going to tell us a little bit about her childhood and lead us through different parts of her life, wherever she feels comfortable. And we're just going to have a casual conversation where God has her right now, and we'll end up there. Kristina, great to have you here.
Thank you.
We appreciate the time you're taking to share your testimony because there's power in your testimony, and hopefully it'll affect someone that hears your story and is maybe going through something similar and can draw from the things that you went through to help them maybe steer through whatever they're going through. So why don't you tell us a little bit about tell us your childhood, your upbringing, and then lead us into a little bit of who Kristina is.
My childhood, it was, I wouldn't say great, but it was okay. I had a sister, a younger sister, and two older brothers. My dad, he battled with drugs my whole life. My mom, she was sick a lot. She had diabetes, and she was just struggling with a lot of health complications. So seemed like I was always kind of getting in trouble, but nothing really major. And my brothers and sisters, they never got in trouble.
It's like four siblings, three siblings?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
So, but we went to church a lot because my uncle, he's a pastor, and he didn't have any kids at the time, so he would always take us to church. So
yeah.
He bought our Easter clothes, and we went to church. We had a real good church upbringing, so. And I made good grades in school. I made straight A's all the time.
Yeah.
And I was real good at school. I didn't get along with a lot of people. I was kind of like isolated.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
and you lived in the area, or what area did you live in?
I'm from Decatur, so
okay.
We lived in Decatur, and it was it's a lot of like fighting growing up with my mom and dad. So I don't know. We all dealt with it different. My brother, he always worked two jobs just to, get away.
Yeah, be out of the house.
And my other brother, he went off to join the Navy. He's been there 19 years now.
Wow.
And my sister, she just joined church, and she goes to church a lot. And I just got in trouble all the time. Just basically. So yeah, I was kind of more closer with my grandma though.
Mm-hmm.
She, my dad, he was the only child, so he pretty much got everything from my grandma. So no matter what happened, she would always bail us out of stuff.
Real tight family.
Yeah.
Okay,
yes,
gotcha.
Yeah.
Grandma, she ruled the house.
Yeah, she did. Like my dad got us in a lot of trouble, but she always bailed everybody out.
Oh, gotcha.
So yeah, everything was. It was pretty rocky for me, like when I was a child, but it wasn't as bad. Like I was still doing good, going to school. I got in a couple of fights. Most of the time, like if somebody picked on my little sister, or I would have to defend her because she really wasn't a fighter. Like,
what's the age difference between you two?
We were 1 year apart.
Okay, gotcha.
But I was a little more tougher than her, and I don't know. I feel like I got blamed for everything she did. She got hit by a car one day, and I got in trouble for that because I didn't hold her hand when because we was coming home from school.
It's a lot of pressure.
Yeah. So I feel like
you felt like you were a parent almost.
Yeah, I feel like we was not always kind of pitted against each other. We was very close, but it's like I was always the one that, I don't know. It was more like I had another brother. It's like we look more like our dad, and my other sister and brother look more like my mom. So I feel like
the sister, the sister you're talking about, she kind of like got into church a lot, and so okay.
Yeah, she's still in church a lot.
Gotcha.
Yes. So yeah, and
that's all the way up till like adolescence, like grade school, through grade school, and
yeah, I got into we moved to Nashville.
Okay.
When I think I was like maybe 13. because my mom and my dad had a domestic situation, and I had a great aunt, so she got us out of there and moved us up
Gotcha.
to Nashville. So yeah, I got up there, and then it got rough because I was like the new kid, and
Mm-hmm.
I had to really start fighting a lot then when I was up there because it was just different.
Yeah.
And so my dad ended up coming up there. So yeah,
So your dad moved to Nashville then?
yes, and started.
Mom stayed in this area?
Well, he came a lot, and he started getting into trouble down there. So then we ended up moving back to Decatur.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So we was moving around a lot. Like I can think of one time we was kids, and my dad he had a lot of stuff going on, and he had my mom. She was a diabetic, so
Yeah.
she had these boxes of needles, and when you're a kid, you don't know why they fighting all the time about the needles, but when I got older, I knew, but at the time I didn't, and I can remember the police just coming in, kicking in the doors, and just it was threw us on the ground. We was just little kids. We didn't really know
It's a
what
lot to
was going on.
see.
Yeah. And they was ripping up the furniture with razor blades, and just it was crazy, like crazy. So that was another reason why we had to go to Nashville
Yeah.
because it was a thing called Section 8. So we was on that, and I guess when we got raided, we couldn't get another place there. So
Gotcha.
yeah,
It takes you off the list then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was real smart in school. I was smarter than all my brothers and sisters, but they never get in trouble. But I was always smarter than them. But it's like when I was in school, people picked on you for being smart. So
Yeah.
I started not trying to do my
'Cause it's
work
not
because I
cool.
wanted to be
It's not
cool.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would get in trouble for that. It was like I was always not knowing what to do,
Mhm.
like, and
this is leading into your teens, right?
yes.
Yeah.
So I mean, I didn't have a history with drugs or anything until I would say when I was maybe 22, 23. I was
Relationship wise, were you?
no, it didn't have anything. I had 5 kids. So
Okay.
yeah, I ended up with. I never went to domestic situations, but
Mhm.
I always was with guys that like fast money. So
Gotcha.
that got me in trouble too.
Yeah.
Several times. I went to jail. I don't know how many times. I was 4 or 5 months pregnant with my youngest son. They was going to.
And this is about 22, you said?
Yeah, I was like maybe 22, 23. And I was 4 or 5 months pregnant, and they was going to this daycare. It was night shift because I had this night shift job, and it was the only daycare that would take kids at night shift. And I was off this day, but I went ahead and took them. So I had this friend with him, and she just out the blue called me, and she was like, "I'll take you to take the kids, to daycare because she needed gas money." So I didn't. It sounded weird, but at the time I didn't really think anything of it. So I was tired. I didn't want to drive anyway.
Right.
So she came, and she didn't have a daughter with her. I always had a daughter with her. She had one daughter, and I was like, "Where's your daughter?" And she was like, she was at her mom's. It was odd because she always had her with her.
Yeah.
So she picked us up, and I had my other 4 kids in the car, and we was leaving the daycare, and we stopped at this stop sign. I just never forget. It's like a 3-way stop sign. Stop sign here, stop sign here, stop sign there, and the other end was like a dead road. And we came out the daycare, and we stopped at this stop sign, and the car just came from this way, and just blocked us in. And I was thinking,
she set you up?
Yeah. I didn't know that then, but I was thinking just somebody wanted to steal a car.
Yeah.
I didn't have a clue what was going on. So they was just like, get out of the car. They had guns, they had masks. It was just, my kids was screaming. I didn't even know. I didn't know what was going on. I was like, what? It was just crazy. But one of the guys, he had like a black everything on. But when he opened his mouth and talked, I knew exactly who he was because I knew him. And he got mad because I knew it. I don't know. They snatched me out the car. My kids were still in her car. I didn't even know what was going on. They blindfolded me, drove me down this dark road.
Without your kids?
Yeah. I didn't even know where my kids were.
Yeah.
Was at or anything. It was so I was the whole time I was like, what is going on? You know, I didn't know what was going on. I
Yeah.
was just like, I don't have no money. I only had like maybe $50 in my ID, and I was like, yeah, you can have that. I didn't really know what was going on, but they thought that, you know, the
Yeah.
guy that I was with had a lot of money and stuff, so they thought, I guess they thought I had it, but I ended up on this dirt road, but I could always run. I ran track when I was a sprinter, so I had a lot of medals. So I don't remember exactly where it was. I knew it was just a long road down Highway 20.
Yeah.
And they stopped, and we were just there. Like, I was there for like 30 minutes. I was constantly like raped over 4 or 5 times.
Goodness.
Like, at some point, I was like, just let me die.
Yeah.
But I was still trying to, where's my kids? I kept asking, where's my kids? I didn't know anything, so. And then I didn't have no clothes on and everything, but I was real fast, so I just took off running. And they couldn't even catch me, so they hit me with the car. Because I was real fast. I was a sprinter. So I just ran, but it wasn't nowhere to run. It was like a...
Can we get some tissues, guys?
It was just like a dirt road. It was just nowhere to go. But... So they caught me, and they brought me back. And I was still just saying, well, I mean, why are y'all doing this? Where's my kids?
Yeah, the craziness of humanity.
Yeah, it was like, we was going to kill your kids. And I didn't know what was.
They were saying that stuff?
Yeah, so they took me to this house. And they had me tied up in this house. And they was on cell phones, and they was talking to somebody who was like, we need a ride to Tennessee. We got to get out of here. She don't know nothing about no money. You know, I could hear them talking.
So it's exactly what you thought. Because you knew this guy, they thought you had connections with it. Yeah.
And they was like, she don't know anything. We got to let her go and everything. So I tried to run again. Like, I heard him on the phone, so I tried to run again. And that's when he shot me.
Oh, my goodness.
In my hand. And it was just a big hole in my hand. I had to see a bone specialist for 2 or 3 years. It was, you can still see it right there where the bullet came out. And I was just bleeding everywhere. I was just losing blood. I couldn't breathe. I was pregnant. It was.
Did they tell you at any time where your kids were?
No. So after like about an hour or 2, they took me to this dirt road, and they just let me go. And my mom, she lived probably like 30 minutes from this road. And I just like ran all the way there. So when I got to my mom's house, she opened the door, I just fell out. And I woke up in the hospital. I don't even remember.
So you escaped them, basically.
So when I got to the hospital, you know, I had a cousin. He was like the head of narcotics indicator. And he was like, you know, he wasn't going to arrest her.
Until to find the kids,
So the whole time the kids was with the girl that picked me up, and they didn't.
And she set you up.
Yes. Yeah.
That had to be hard because she was a friend too, or you thought she was a friend.
Yeah, and she was my daughter's cousin. So yeah, but they all ended up going to prison. They used to send me a letter every year for parole. I just I didn't never deal with it or whatever, but. It was like
so all the men that were involved went to prison.
Yeah, and they all did now.
Oh.
And the girl that set me up,
God protects
she came
in mysterious ways, right?
She came here.
Okay.
And I was working the back desk.
She's homeless, you're saying?
She was. She came, and I wanted to get away from the back desk because I didn't want to be around her. It was just
brings up too much past,
Yeah, and it was hard. It was so hard, but. I made it, and she left here, and like 2 months later, then she died. And but after that, I didn't care about anything.
That kind of desensitizes you to life in general. Yeah. I can imagine. And, I mean, that's a lot.
I got a weird thing with cameras because they was filming it. And it freaks me out sometimes.
So we appreciate you sharing this because, like I said, your story and the intensity of your story and that testimony that comes out of it, it could save someone's life. And that is, I give you a lot of credit for sharing the way you are. You also you were in which newsletter did we have you in?
Mission Moments.
Yeah, the Mission Moments. I forget which month.
I think it was June or July.
So yeah, so you gave a little bit of this in that, and we read that, and we were like, you could definitely, be effective for someone else going through some things. God's amazing, but until we know Him and we know the love that He has for us, it's hard to see it because humanity can be so ugly, right? It's just
and I felt
humans.
like I always had a strong faith, because with the church a lot.
Yeah.
And it was like when I was like, Lord, just let me die. I can't take it no more. They just let me go.
Yeah.
It was like, so I know He was always there. Bad things have to happen, so good things can come from it. But if bad things never happen, so I know He was there the whole time. And some people may think, why would He let anybody just go through all that? Why would you, if nobody ever had to go through anything, you wouldn't know what you was capable of. You wouldn't.
That's a good perspective.
I don't never too quick get in the car with anybody. I don't trust people as much, but I stay isolated from my family, everybody. It's just the way I dealt with it. I just didn't care about anything. I was just angry all the time.
So you said you have 5 kids?
Yes.
And you have relationships with them now?
Yes, very close.
God is pulling that tighter together, and
yes.
Oh, that's beautiful. I love to hear that.
Yes.
Your kids went through a lot. They saw a lot.
Yeah, I always had a good relationship with my family and kids. So when I never, even though I got in a lot of trouble, and I've got messed up and went off on family. They've never not been there for me.
That's awesome.
And when I got here, I seen that some people really don't have anybody.
Yeah.
Even when I was in jail and over and over, they was always there. My aunt came every Sunday just to pray.
See, that's beautiful.
We
don't realize how powerful prayer is, right?
Right.
In general, all of us, me included, we do it when we need something sometimes, but if we were more consistent with prayer, I feel like we would see more of the power that God has on display. So tell us what led to the steps of coming into the mission, and how's your experience been since you've been in the mission?
Well, I went to the last trip I went to jail. I stayed there like 2 years, and I got out, and I had an apartment, and I was doing okay. And I got this job. I never even worked over 6 months ever. And I did good for a while, but I just led back into drugs, the pills. It was like I always wanted to tune everything out.
So pills and drugs.
Yeah, I had a real bad car wreck. I threw out a car and I couldn't, walk. I was messed up, so I was just in pain, and then I had all this.
So then it's medication.
Yes.
Because of pain.
Anything to just tune out everything.
Yeah.
I just wanted to tune out everything. So it started as one drug, then another drug, then another drug, then more drugs, and then comes the jail and the consequences. And
it's like what you said. You just want to tune out what's going on, because sometimes you just aren't capable of facing it, right?
I just didn't want to deal with anything.
Yeah.
I would sit in the apartment for months and not even talk to people. When I first got here, I was in overnights for over a year, and I didn't want to just deal with anybody. I was angry all the time. I got into it with everybody. I just hated everybody,
So that's one of the things that I'd like to just focus on, is that the Downtown Rescue Mission, and it has nothing to do with programs, but the fact that we allow people to stay in it overnight until they have the ability to see something better for themselves, and take that time to sit with a counselor and to develop what are next steps, what's the pathway out of this present situation. that's one of the things that I'm encouraged that we do that some other places don't take that extra time, because based off of what you said, it takes some time to take those next steps.
Yes, because I wasn't even homeless when I got here. I had an apartment. I drove my car up here. I had money. I don't know. I just wouldn't leave.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I just got over there, and everybody thought I was crazy, but I just wouldn't leave.
Well,
and my car got towed. I ended up having to get that back, and because they told me to park across the street, I didn't know. And
gotcha.
yeah, I mean, I just wouldn't leave. I don't know why. I don't know.
So how long did you stay in overnight?
I stayed 1 year and 6 months over there.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe in my mind, I felt like I didn't know anyone here. So.
And did you sit with a counselor? Through that, did you? What were the next steps that led to potentially getting into the program?
Well, Miss Tennille, she came in. She was the case manager at the time, and she used to talk to me every day.
Okay.
She really kept asking me I should, get in the program. I was like, no, I don't want to work. I don't want to do anything. I just want to sit here. I was, I was like, no, I'm not working. I'm not doing all that work. I don't want to do anything. I just want to sit here.
Yeah.
And, the more she talked to me, now I've been clean over 3 years.
That's beautiful.
I've been working
Congratulations.
for over 3 years.
I don't know if anybody says it, but congratulations.
Yeah. When I got over there, my mom had just died. It was like 5 months.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah. And like 6 months before that, my grandma had died.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it was just...
That's a lot at one time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when I got here, like a year after that, my brother died. So...
My goodness.
Yeah, he used to come get me every week and take me out to eat, talk to me.
Be an encourager.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's supposed to come that Saturday. And I kept calling him Friday. He didn't answer. I just didn't know. He never not answers.
Yeah.
Never. And
older brother?
Yes.
Okay.
He's like 4 years older than me.
Gotcha.
And then my sister had called and they had got me to the phone and they was like, they went to not, within his apartment because he didn't show up for work. He never not shows up for work. And I guess he was trying to get to his insulin medicine and he died. Yeah. And
so he was a diabetic.
Yeah, they just sent me over. And I had this one girl, she was in the program. She came and talked to me for like 2 hours because I was just going to go out and get messed up again. And she was like, but I could hear my brother, the last thing he told me was, will you please get yourself together, please. You don't have to be living like this. Well,
you get to a place of desperation and life has a way of beating us down, right? And you get to that place where you're so desperate and you start to lose your identity. Like, who am I? And where's my value? And if you don't have people in your life that keep reestablishing that and telling you, you are worth, God said you're worth everything that you're worth. And you have to have those encouragers. And like your brother was an encourager, right?
My family is they great people, They never once turned their back on me.
Because the devil, he wants to tear you down.
And they just always been there, And when I got here, I was like, some people have nothing. Their kids don't even talk to them. They don't have no money. They don't have anything. And I was like, maybe I was ungrateful. Maybe I was just... Because you see,
if we're judging ourselves against other people, that's one thing.
I just looked at it different, I think, Like, I didn't have much, but it's always someone worse than you,
There you go.
And you see it, like when I got all the drugs out of my system and I could focus like I used to,
When you're sober,
right?
You start to hear all the voices sometimes, but you got to be able to ask God, okay, Holy Spirit, help me filter through that stuff because I don't want to hear the nonsense. I want to hear the good stuff. Like, you're valued, you're appreciated, you have worth, you can be a vital part of community, and you know what I mean? And sometimes when your identity is stripped away, you lose all that. Yeah, so then you got in here, and so it took you 1.5 years to get in, right?
did.
But you finally did.
I did.
And then you sat with a counselor, Tennille, and took next steps.
It was, Miss Carol. I struggled.
Okay.
I struggled, like, because I basically just came because she kept telling me I should. I didn't
She was
really
persistent,
care.
right?
Yeah, I didn't really care at all. I just was like, okay. And like the first week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I just struggled. I didn't want to get up. I didn't want to work. I was like, no, I don't want to do any of this. I don't want to read. I don't want to go to classes. But it got so much better. Like, and I'm thinking, I can work. I can.
You can do all this,
Yeah,
right?
I'm like, I've been working 3 years now, nonstop.
And like you said, you were good at school.
Yeah,
like,
it was.
Learning
and
is...
that's why I was so good at the homework, because I was always good.
Yep.
I couldn't focus enough when I first got here because I was always thinking about something negative. It's always something negative,
Well, you went through a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to talk to people. I didn't, trust people.
Yep. It's the renewing of the mind that
Yeah.
we sometimes have to get to that place, right? Because the way we thought before isn't really how God wants us to think going forward. He wants us to have that mind that's renewed and thinking on good things, dwelling on good things. And it's like, until you do, you're always just thinking about the past and all the stuff that's going on. Yeah. But so then you went through the program. You didn't have any issues, like 12 months, right?
Yeah.
Went through the program.
I had struggles of anger still,
Everybody does.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I did. I graduated last year. I stayed. I worked the back desk when I needed. I work the front desk now. I work at Wendy's now. So I'm just working all the time. My grandma always told me, when you don't work and you don't do something, you just got too much time on your hands.
It's that whole phrase, idle
so,
hands, right? Yeah.
So, I try to stay busy as much as possible.
That's
and
good.
The more busy I stay, the more positive I am.
Yeah. And
when I sit around and be lazy and grumpy, it just makes me negative.
So how much do you get to see your kids now?
Well, I don't see them much because I don't go home. But I talk to them all the time. FaceTime them.
And what ages are they?
My oldest is 28. My daughter's 27. Then I have a 25, 24. My youngest is 23 now.
See, you were too young for that.
Yeah, the one that they say wouldn't make it. He had complications. The doctor said he wouldn't make it because I was like almost 5 months pregnant with him when all that happened.
Okay.
But he had a lot of complications. One of his lungs collapsed. They had to med flight him to the hospital. But
and that's your youngest, you said?
Yeah, he made it. He's 23 now. So.
Well, that's a blessing.
Yeah.
Children are a blessing.
Yeah.
So something I usually like to ask is, if you had the opportunity to talk to a Kristina that is struggling through life right now, what would you say as encouragement for that individual to be able to take a moment and absorb your direction, or something that you would say to them?
I would say just never give up. Even when you're down, you counted yourself out. Everybody's still rooting for you, but you didn't count yourself out. And people have more faith in you than you have in yourself. Just don't give up.
Don't give up.
Never give up.
That's good.
Even when you feel at the lowest, and I've been there. I've been to the point to the lowest, and there's always hope. Even if it's just a little inch of it,
Yeah.
Because when I got here, I was just defeated. Like.
But you even said it. You're not sure why you stayed, but you did.
I was just defeated. I couldn't call my grandma because she was gone. I couldn't call my mom because she was gone.
Yeah.
I was just defeated. And now I just, it feels good to, I'm not making illegal money. I'm not with people making.
Yeah.
Even if it's little money,
Yeah.
I'm making it.
It feels
honest.
good to take the right path. Yeah.
It's not
me get my family, they always bail me out.
Okay.
They're not helping me,
Well,
It's just, I can pay my own phone bill now. I can,
yeah.
It's little money, but it's big things to me.
It leads to next steps, right? It leads to next steps. Yeah.
I wouldn't care if it was a job that paid. I would feel good about it because I never worked. I just never did anything.
Yeah.
Right. And I feel like I'm struggling still, but I'm living right.
Okay.
I'm living as best as I can.
That's a solid word, and
right.
I would definitely. That's good. I back that. Kristina, I appreciate you taking the time and the vulnerability that it takes to do and share the way you did. There'll be a blessing that follows that. We know that because like I said, I keep saying it, but the power that is in your testimony is what's going to change lives. It changed yours, and it's going to change anyone that listens to it when they get to that place where they're willing to listen. Because sometimes we shut everything off, right? Thank you again for taking this time. This has been another episode of Stories of Hope. Check us out online. Thanks again. Take care.